Yeah, I don't remember what it was with that.
Foul or not, Mike?
Well, you jump into me.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I understand.
your hands are straight up, and once you make contact.
Dun, 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 dun. No, that's the wrong fight song.
Don't go you go no. Don't go you Northwestern. That's what I meant to say. That's the Wisconsin Heights.
Well, but that is apropos for our interview, second part of a 3-part interview with Michael Wilkinson. Michael is a Heights grad, 2000 Heights grad. He was Mr. Basketball in the whole state of Wisconsin, whole state of Wisconsin. And then he went on to star as a Wisconsin Badger.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's in the
was
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. And then he played professionally overseas. And so this segment, when we get to it a little bit later on in the podcast, is going to be about the second part, his Badger. We're going to have his Badger highlights and stuff like that. You want to stay tuned for that.
Mm-hmm.
So
talk about his recruiting process a little bit.
Yeah, that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
that'll be fun for people to hear. Kind of an insider's view, which most of us don't get an opportunity to be a part of. And then
It's our year.
This is our year anniversary. So here you are. Thanks for being a part of our podcast, the original father-son voiceover
We
podcast.
tripped and stumbled and scraped our knees and somehow
And we still are.
we crawled across the
Yeah.
finish line. And
Yep.
people are
Yep.
saying, we just can't. It's like one of those, it's like a crash. You can't stop watching. You just keep,
Yeah.
you're like, I shouldn't look, but I want to see it.
Yeah. People have been saying to us, don't. Stop. Don't. Stop. Don't. Stop. Don't. Stop.
So
Don't
we make it, we
stop.
put it together.
We put it together. And we just figure people don't want us to stop.
That's not true. But
Yeah.
we like to kid about that.
So we are on our 52nd. We're going to have a little surprise, a little celebration, an in-house
Surprise,
celebration later on in the podcast. So stay tuned for that. So we got Michael, and then we've got the little celebration. But we've got an announcement about an open house that we're going to have coming up soon.
For our one-year anniversary.
1-year anniversary. And we're inviting all of our special guests that have sat on the couch and anybody else that wants to come. And we'll give you more details about when, how, where, all of that kind of stuff coming up in the podcast.
We're also going to have the couch potatoes here.
You bet.
And we are going to do the Wonder Wheel. We're going to bring that back this week. And it's going to be exciting.
And before that, we'll have Mazumani Sitewise and Wisconsin Heights Weekly.
You know what I'm excited about?
What?
Not just this podcast and not being this year. I got crossbars for my new pilot.
Maybe
my
show
vehicle.
a picture of that.
Yeah, maybe I will do that. So now I can get my kayak up there and I can, now that it's getting warm.
And that's important, sort of. But
I'm not important.
yeah, but Roy from Elroy is back with another adventure. So
That's
you want
true.
to stay tuned
Yeah.
for that. That's coming up in about
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, 15, 20 minutes.
We've got a coward on our hands.
not good.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Let's
so
get
here
into
we are,
52,
our year
yeah.
number 52, and ready to get started.
Hey, this is Bill DeWeese, pro voiceover talent and voiceover career coach. And this is the original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast.
You know what this is? The 52nd. That means 1 year. 1 year of the original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast. I'm Todd. Hudson's here. John, Drew, and Joe. Here we go. Woo-hoo! It's a celebration.
Is that Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Cool in the Gang.
Cool in the Gang.
There's a party going on right here, a celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate our party with you.
Come on now.
Celebration. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. Yeah. Celebration. We gon' celebrate and have a good time.
Okay, that's good.
It's time.
We'll fade this down.
Well, we were going to celebrate whether you wanted to or not. At your expense. Welcome to the 52nd episode. It's been 1 year. And Roy is trying to destroy Roy.
Roy destroy. Anyway, we are here, and it is our 52nd edition.
It sure is.
Episode.
We got a full slate. We got a gift from Cal, the radical podcaster, his wife Kylie.
Music Camps.
2 daughters, Maisie and Lainey. Shout out to you guys. And then we've got Mazo Mini Sitewise, Wisconsin Nights Weekly. Second part of our Michael Wilkinson interview. We've got Roy from Elroy.
Second part of the
And then we're going to do the Wonder Wheel. Ooh. But before we do all of that, we want to celebrate.
Yep.
So, Mom, are you ready?
This is going to be hard because Roy is here.
Yep. Yeah.
And he's
Roy,
walking around.
Roy, sit. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. So Mom's going to hand out some cake. Damon's here as well. Wow. No, I've got a picture of it already, so you can.
So, okay.
Wow. There's Mom. And Damon's going to show his face.
We're having cake from Calbert.
Yep.
Okay. So, let me see here.
How is this going to work?
Plate. Okay.
Just grab a
Get
plate.
I can
Everybody,
help.
here, watch this.
I'm helping.
I'm going to take these and pass it around.
Oh, that is so smart.
Well,
And
Hudson's going to take
now let's talk for a second about the fact that this is our 52nd episode. And so it's officially a year, but we are actually going to really celebrate on April 14th, which is a Friday evening.
Johnny.
And we are inviting people, our viewers,
nice
local viewers, most likely. I don't think you're going to want to drive or fly in, to an open house of the original Father-Son voiceover podcast.
Wowzers.
We're going to have it at our house. We can let you know where that is if you don't know where it is. And we're going to have it from 4:30 to 6 p.m. And we're going to have Sloppy Joes. We are going to have homemade cookies from Becky Rooney. We are going to have popcorn and crackers.
Wow.
And what else are we going to have?
Man,
maybe crumble cookies?
No way.
No, we already said we were going to have cookies from Mom.
Okay.
But anyway, that's April 14th, 4:30 to 6 for an open house. We're officially inviting all of our past guests. We won't be able to name them all, but let's try to name a few of them. BJ Ruland.
Yep.
There was Scott Johannick.
Well, Will was there too, but obviously
Will was there, but he's in the Marines. There was
Scott Moore.
Jet and Jerry Springstead.
Jerry and the Jet.
Ryan Van Riper.
There was Ryan Van Riper.
There absolutely was.
There and
Scott
he
Johannick.
is. Yep, we got him.
Scott Moore.
Scott Moore. Yep.
Katie Blair Shear.
Jamie Lucy.
Yep.
Ryan Dasher.
Yes.
Dick, the Mayor Royston.
Yep.
Jameson
Dewar.
Dewar.
Take a little bit because I.
Twice.
Who else do we have?
We had some voiceover related people early on.
Right.
Sure did.
I'm talking local now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Did we miss anybody? Hey, this is
Michelle
very good
for the I said her.
Okay.
Michelle from 1855 let us come down there, and she was part of it.
Yeah. We did the taste test down there back a couple months ago. But we're having this as our kind of unofficial celebration because it's right on the day.
Yeah.
But we're going to have that on April 14th.
Plus, we've got cake. So.
And what we want to do is we want to invite people to stop by anytime from 4:30 to 6. Again, we'll have some stuff to eat. We'll hang out. What else, Jonathan? You were going to do something with.
There might be some. We're talking about. I think we're going to do. Sometimes baseball, like MLB teams, or probably other levels of it too, of professional sports or college sports. They'll come out, and there'll be it might be like a team-oriented camera, or that's associated with the team, that will have like questions on it, like What was your favorite
Who's your favorite podcaster?
90s pop band or whatever? And so we might have a few questions, not necessarily that one, but we might have some questions, and you can come up and answer those, and it'll be like you're on. We'll post that on the podcast when we get that done after the party. So that's one thing that we are going to probably do. It won't be just one. There'll be a few questions that each person can come up and ask if they want to.
The camera will be rolling.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you'll just go in front,
And if Joe
and
goes,
you'll answer the question best of your ability.
Mm-hmm.
No wrong answers.
No wrong answers. No judgments.
Behind the scenes right now, you can't see it, but Becky, mom, is sitting on the floor trying to eat her cake, and Roy is bugging her.
Yeah.
He will not leave her alone. Demond, come on over here for just a second. Demond, our audio video producer, the guy that
editor,
does all the work behind the scenes. Come on over here. Just sit down here for just a
Devon, join
second.
us.
My dad
this
here.
wouldn't be possible without you, Damon.
Three's Company right here.
So Demond's been doing this for a year. What's your favorite part of it, Demond, other than being able to watch me on camera and
Listen to
listen
you.
to me?
Listen to
talk?
them eat. Yep.
That it's better than doing just audio editing.
Yeah,
There you
That's
go.
true.
That's
for our
Not
voiceover.
what
Or accounting.
Yep.
You do a great job, though. And I know we're kind of putting you on the spot here, but you do a great
Big
job
time.
filling in stuff. And I've told people that it separates our podcast because we're not that good. We don't have that great of content other than our interviews, like Mike Wilkinson coming up in a little bit. But you add little things, little movie clips, television clips, little things, hats, stuff like that.
Clues you into the inside jokes sometimes that we have.
So thank you for doing that. We really appreciate it. Devon spends a lot of time. I mean, we spend maybe a few hours putting this together, and Devon spends tens of hours of doing it each week and has to get it out on time.
There's no podcast without Demond.
No,
That's true.
That's the absolute truth. Did you get some cake?
Yep.
Well, thank you to Cal and Kylie
Oh, yeah.
and Lainey and Maisie for the cake. That was very good.
Yes.
There is more left over, and we will probably have more of it. at
This is
some
before
point.
supper.
Hope
Dad's
so.
not
We
afraid
don't
to
want
eat
to go to waste.
a fair amount before supper.
I don't want to go to waste.
I don't want it to go to waste. No.
Yeah,
I could
it's kind of
waste away.
ironic again, isn't it? That in one of our original podcasts, I said, I think we should eat. It kind of puts people at ease.
Oh, I know
and
what you're
Cal
going
voted
here.
no.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so he gave us cake. Now, he probably didn't think we were going to eat it on
I think he
Probably
probably,
not.
knew.
Podcast.
I think he knew that we were going to do it.
Did you know that, Cal?
I think he did.
He also
Okay.
joined us for one.
Yeah, the charcuterie board.
Yep.
Yeah. That was
Yeah,
good.
around Christmas time.
So he's kind of aiding and abetting that.
Definitely now.
So we've already said that we've got the
Yeah, we got all
Mazomanie
that,
Site-Wise, we've got Wisconsinites Weekly, we've got
Mike.
Wilkinson Part 2
Dwa.
of 3, Part 2 of 3. And that has been a big hit, obviously. Why wouldn't it be? And what else we got?
Spin the
The
wheel.
Wonder Wheel coming up later. So are we on to
Yes.
anything? Are you going to hang around? No. You got to get busy probably putting podcasts together, don't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank
Tell you
you
what,
for
though.
joining us.
Thank you, Damon.
This,
Thanks,
this couch
Demond.
feels a lot different. I would say cozier.
Cozy.
Becky, you want to
Yeah.
sit here for
Some
a while?
might say coatsy.
Or are you going to go downstairs?
Uh-oh.
What's going on here?
I don't know.
Joe's having a podcast within the podcast.
Mom's got to go, so she won't be able to sit. Thank you for bringing this
Thank
up.
you,
Be
Mom.
careful.
Yeah, thanks, Mom.
Thank you.
Wave to the camera.
With your face.
No, it's here.
Oh, nice.
This is the camera over here.
Nice.
Nice. There you go.
All
That
right.
is your
I
wave.
don't think anybody saw that.
We can hold on.
Yeah,
to
we
these.
can hang on to this. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
We're
And
good.
you.
Thanks.
Thank
We're
you.
good.
Devon?
Appreciate that.
Thanks, Devon.
if you want to take Roy down with
Please
you,
do.
you can.
Please do.
Roy, come.
Okay, let's go.
Roy, why did you wreck and ruin this podcast?
Yeah. You got to show him to the.
Okay.
We can just cut. We can
He
just
just
cut
needs
him
to
out.
go.
No, we don't need to cut him out.
Bye, Roy.
He's getting heavy.
Your
But
episode.
that's
Your
not-
part of the episode will
That's
come
not
soon.
this part. So I won't get too much into that, but he's heavy.
Did you start his clock? Oh, yeah, you did. Nice.
Yeah, you
did.
Nice.
Yep.
That's because
Only took him
that's
4
because
months.
You're all over the place. That's why you're blowing up.
I
right
did
now.
multiple things.
You're everywhere.
Dad's all over the internet.
I did multiple things at once. Got Celebrate up on my cell phone, started the camera, introduced. Now we're ready to go. Let's do it.
Let's
Let's
do
Joe,
it.
let's go with
roll.
let's go with Wisconsin Eyes Weekly.
Okay.
Wisconsin Nights Week.
So a little bit of backtracking here, but
We didn't
talked
start,
about it.
so
We
how do you
talked about it.
backtrack?
Talked about it last week. but I will refresh your
No, I
memories.
gotta get my
Baseball team.
hat on here, right?
Baseball team has a game April 6th, Dad's birthday.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
It'll be
Hopefully
easy
get
for
it
you to
done.
remember.
Happy birthday.
It'll be easy for you to remember, but not easy for you to make because you'll be celebrating Todd's birthday with him at some point, I'm sure. At Waterloo at 5 o'clock that Thursday.
Okay.
They also play 2 days later, April 8th,
Okay.
at home against Barneveld at 11. That's a Saturday.
We should go the scout.
True.
Mustangs basically go scout.
Then the softball team, they play
Waterloo.
April 6th at home against Barneveld, 5 p.m. That's a Thursday. April 11th, they play at Marshall, Tuesday, that is, at 5 p.m. And then I haven't gotten anything on the golf team or the track team, but the soccer team plays, again,
Girls, right?
April 6th. Yeah,
Would you say you don't have the inside track on the track team?
that's very true.
Okay.
April 6th, at home against Monroe, the cheesemakers,
You bet they are.
6:45 p.m. And that is a Thursday, obviously. And then April 11th at Sugar River, which I believe is a conglomerate of Belleville and New Glarus.
Yep.
The
Think you're right on
Glarner
that.
Knights.
Think you're
They
right
were a
on that.
buzzsaw back in the day.
The Glarner Cats, I think it is. The Glarner Wildcats.
The Wild Knights.
And they play at 6:45 that day, and that is a Tuesday, the 11th. Then some other housekeeping. Wisconsin Heights
Weekly?
Summer School
Oh, summer school.
registration starts next Thursday, again on Dad's birthday.
Oh,
A lot of good
registration.
things
K,
start on April
K
6th.
through 8, that is. And if you want more information on that, you can go to either the Facebook page or Wisconsin Heights website.
Thank
What
you,
is
Joe.
my birthday?
That is my birthday.
What day
Thursday.
is that? I know it's on the 6th.
Thursday.
Thursday.
He said it.
Okay.
Yeah. Thursday, I
So it's the
believe.
day after our 53rd
Yep.
episode of the podcast comes out.
52nd.
No, 52nd.
Oh, 52nd.
This one.
Oh,
52nd
yeah,
comes
yeah,
out.
right.
Next
Yep.
week.
Exactly.
And also, to toot my own horn here, the third
Let's stick with what you're good
April,
at.
well, April in general, April 1st is when I started my voiceover
Ah,
business.
yeah.
So it'll be 2 full years I've done it.
Oh,
So
wow.
I started number 3.
So I think
Graduations there.
I think the point being is if you feel the urge, the desire, if you feel sorry for us,
Conviction.
you can give Hudson a 2-year anniversary voiceover business gift.
Wow.
Can you
on
take
here.
that off of there, please?
You could give
Thank you.
you could give our podcast a 1-year anniversary, or you could give me a birthday gift. I'm fine. I'm fine with all 3 of those, or
already
any of
enough.
those.
Well, Cal's already done enough.
He's done.
You guys
He's
don't have to
done
do any
enough.
more, but
Yeah.
somebody else. Anyway, now let's move on to Mazomanie.
You mean Satwise? Yeah. Oh, let me say,
All right, so we've got another painting of pottery event
Wow.
down at the Apothecary. This is a little bit,
Carry
maybe
on, my wayward son.
it's probably just my computer that the antivirus thing kicked on when I tried to find out the cost of the tickets. But hopefully that's not an issue if you try to get your tickets. So I'm not exactly sure the cost exactly, but it will be at 5:30 tonight when this comes out.
Oh,
It'll be
nice.
Wednesday night.
Wednesday the 5th.
Yep. So I think you can show up kind of whenever, or not show up, but you can pay at the door or whatever if you want to get in. I know there are
People
people
have
interested.
gotten their tents together and
Yep,
they're going to
correct.
start
Pitching them.
Yep.
start camping outside, ready to at the apothecary.
The cost includes the supplies, which I believe it's going to be. You can draw first, like you do your taxes.
That's
pencil
smart.
first,
Pencil first.
and then you can use other
Yeah.
the paint or whatever. But it's gonna. I think it's gonna be a little bit of time before you get your finished product because they're gonna take it to a kiln
Oh,
and have it.
apothecary.
Gonna have it.
It's not apothecary.
Okay.
It's apothecary.
Okay, apothecary.
Kind of all the same. Apothecary.
Did you know that
So
some people
don't
said that
expect-
line is intense?
Don't expect to have your gift, or sorry, your painting, your painted pottery done,
If you're showing
taken
up
home. If you're thinking I'm going to take
for,
this home
for a
tonight,
finished product,
Yep.
you're at the wrong place.
correct.
Change your mindset.
But the cost, which I'm not sure, does include the supplies needed, the meal, a meal, excuse me,
Oh, a meal.
drink, and dessert.
Do we know much about who's going to be painting? And here's why.
It's going to be anybody. I think you get
Right. But my guess would be there's going to be some pretty good painters.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be.
And my guess would be is if I, not being a good painter,
Yep.
I might go down there and paint, or maybe I wouldn't paint, but I might watch somebody paint and say, are you going to use that whatever you paint? Because maybe you could pick it up for, buy it from that person.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
In fact, maybe I could be,
It could be the next Picasso.
I could set a little stand up outside and do a transaction
Yeah.
type thing.
Selling-
Set up a PayPal thing.
Oh, it'd be- yeah.
I could say, you want to buy that? I'll be the middleman. I'll take 20%.
Like we had in the last one.
I don't know. I mean, it's just a thought.
There's lots of good thoughts there. But I do know that a group of people, or a group of my department when I was working at NSI, they did go to a place to do like a drawing, and lots of people said they weren't very good at it, but when they came back, it was pretty good. So I think there's quite a bit of help, and they really walk you through the. It's not.
I
just,
need some help.
I'd sit
Yeah,
there
it might,
like,
it might
that's
be
the kind of help I
it might
need.
be a specific design, or it might be a couple designs that you can choose from, and then they help you out with that. I don't know. So you can put that. Damon can put that disclaimer up there. But tonight, 5:30, at the Apothecary.
Very good.
And anyway, go and enjoy that. This Friday night is the first Friday of the month, so it will be a Mazo Music Conservancy night.
nice.
Staff and faction will start things off at 6 p.m. There's no cost to this. You can just go.
Freebie.
I'll bet you
Yep.
they pass a hat or something. I
Maybe.
mean, why wouldn't
Yep.
you?
But,
they take
uh,
donations,
Yep.
I'll bet.
The special
Probably like a
guests are
bowler
the maintainers. The maintainers take the stage at 7:30. There is going to be food and beverages that will be sold, and it's down at the Mazo Community Building like it usually is.
That's another reason how they're making some money.
Yep.
Yeah. That's just, they get you in the door.
I thought
and
they said
got
something
you.
about, I don't know if it's I think it's
a
going to be
free
by
thing,
catered by what I think still is rookies for now.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, because that's up for sale.
catered by
So-
rookies.
I was gonna say
Yep, if
catered
you want to
for
go
the
have a
people,
good
by the
time,
people.
listen to live music, head on down to the Mazo Mini Community Building this Friday night at 6.
They used to have dances down there, Dad.
Plays.
You know, they had plays. Yeah, I don't know. That might be a Dick Royston question,
Mayor.
or a John Traeger when we have John Traeger on, which
Because
we're
we
going
don't really
to.
have like a
Dance
fireman's
hall or anything. Yeah,
We don't have like a fireman's,
No.
building or anything.
that would have been before my time probably. But as I've said, we used to go down there on like Friday night, and they'd have a big curtain, and they'd show movies.
Oh,
that was
wow.
fun. That was fun. Yeah, Walt
Well,
Disney
they just
movies.
they
and
just
stuff
had
like that.
like a big
White sheet.
Well, I think it was the actual maybe curtain that would come across for a theater type thing, and then they would play it on there. If I remember right, I might
That's
not remember.
fun.
The last, I know Hudson has something.
I
to add to
I
it.
do too.
Okay.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah.
So my
can't
last
wait.
thing is, if you want to do something good and you have the time, head on over to the Midland United Methodist Church to give blood this Saturday.
Blood drive.
Okay.
It will be from 8 until noon, and there's I think they give you a T-shirt until supplies. Until supplies
Until blood
Yep.
lasts.
while supplies last, you'll get a free T-shirt. So if there's a lot of people going to give blood,
Until you don't have any more blood in your body, then
Yeah.
then they give it to the next person.
Yeah.
Do you know that I have to when I go?
That's the 8th, just so people know, right?
the whatever the Saturday is. Yep. So I believe that is the 8th because the 6th would be a Thursday. So yep, the 8th.
Got it.
It's the United Methodist Church right off there of KP. If you're not familiar, for some
in
reason.
between Black Earth and Mazo.
Yep.
Or
Do
off
you-
of Midland.
Do you know that
Both.
Here's kind of fun fact. Did you know that when I go now to the doctor to get my blood drawn, I tell them I don't want it out of my arm. I get it out of my hand, even though it hurts a little bit more, because I fainted. Over at the Meso clinic.
Really?
Yeah, went right down. I could feel the room closing in on me.
Tough.
And I was
that
sitting
the
there.
needle?
Yeah, and I just kind of rolled up, and I came to, and the nurses were putting ice under my arms and kind of trying to get me awake.
Really?
Yeah,
Were they slapping you awake?
probably. They probably should have. Anyway,
Think about
I
the
laid
force
down.
they would have had to take on your head in order to get you up.
But here's the thing. I see when you give blood, a lot of people lay down.
Yeah, you have to.
Oh,
No.
you have to.
The blood flows better.
I was
that way.
sitting up.
Your doctor
Sometimes
doesn't know what
they'll
they're
put
doing.
it
I
in
actually
certain
don't.
spots.
I actually don't lay down. I
serious, I don't know.
I
I'm
have
just
my
hoping
head
that
going
people that
that
are
way
listening didn't think
because
that
I want to be
Yeah.
so far
I don't
down.
know.
Inversion table.
Yep.
You're doing inversion. Anyway, I thought that
that's
was
it.
just kind of funny.
Wait, my head's
That's it for me.
Okay, so before you, this is a lead in. This is a lead in to
You
you.
barely get done.
I know.
You can barely get
Okay,
done.
first of all,
He's had some sugar now.
our
True.
one sponsor, not reverse sponsors. We have reverse sponsors. Our one sponsor,
Plenty of those.
1855 Coffee House in historic downtown Meso at 1 Broadhead Street. All you have to do is mention the original Father-Son Voiceover podcast. What do you get? Boom.
10% off.
10% off.
Get it.
Food or drink
Boom.
item.
10%
Only.
off. Nothing in the
Vault.
The vault.
nothing in
But,
the vault.
I don't have the right hat on.
Yeah.
They do
Oh,
have
yeah,
some
yeah.
new equipment in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you can go to the vault and you can get
It's
things in there. They
clothing.
got local people that do stuff on consignment. But all you got to do is mention to Michelle Van Schindig, owner and proprietor,
Yep.
or
Leave
Kayla,
that for my cake.
who's her hired hand now, and Bree, who's another hired hand.
Really? Got
Yep.
2 more
Yeah,
employees?
now Bree has been down there. She's a high school gal, and she's an assistant there on Saturdays and Sundays. But Kayla does work for her. Anyway, just mention it to one of those ladies, and they'll give you 10% off of anything that you buy, food and drink. So that's that. Now,
It's a deal you just can't afford not to have. You'd be losing money by not.
this is another, real quickly, this is another commercial because you just mentioned the Music Conservancy, and we've talked with Jim Schrader, who's kind of in charge of that with his wife, Deb, and he still is planning on coming on
Nice.
as a guest. So, Jim, if you're watching this or if people know Jim, make sure Jim remind Jim of that because we'd love to have him on, talk about the Music Conservancy and all sorts of other stuff. John Traeger, longtime resident, his parents were here, they had businesses. We're going to get him in the vehicle and we're going to go around and do a little tour of Meso, all the different places.
Sidewise featuring
John Traeger.
John Traeger
Yep.
through the eyes of
And that's going to be great because he's owned businesses, he's owned buildings, he's been around, he's in his 90s, and so he's agreed to do that. We just got to set up a time. So that's coming up.
He's one of the cornerstones of Meso.
He is. Yep.
I mean, there's Dick Royston,
Yep.
and he just stands out.
Yep.
Pillar.
Yep.
And then there's John Wick, Senior.
Yeah.
And
Pillar.
John Traeger, and a smattering of others.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yeah, exactly. You named some of the big ones. There's no doubt about it. At least the ones that,
those are the
that we know.
Three Musketeers at least.
And then here's the other thing. One of the things we are is we're a podcast for the people, by the people, especially of Mesomania and local area. And so in just a moment, we're going to show you something that we did with our brand new cameras that are very, very nice cameras. And what we want to do, this is an idea I had and Hudson has bought into it. What we're going to do is we're going to have local businesses, and you can contact us if you're a local business. And what we'd like to do is just bring our camera down to your local business, just get a little tour. Maybe we'll ask you a few questions. It'll take 15, 20 minutes, as much time as you want to take. And we will then promote that on our growing podcast.
What's happening, Meso?
What's happening in Meso and on our podcast.
Mesomania Sidewise.
Yes. Thank
Well,
you.
yeah,
But we might post it on.
we'll post it. What's happening, Meso, the Facebook,
For sure,
and
for
so
sure.
and you can have at it. It's yours. You can grab it and share it and
totally,
promote it
yeah.
as just a way to promote your business. So if you're a local business, and especially Mesomania will start out, contact Hudson. It's
HudsonBarsness@yahoo.com. Demond will have it go on the ticker
Yep.
below us here, but
and we'd be happy to come down and do a little bit of an interview with you and a little bit of a tour of your local business and promote that for you. take advantage of it. Now, this leads right into that.
Joe, if you could get the computer back to that those files that I had, we went down. There was coffee with a cop this morning with 2 cops, 2 police officers, Dane County sheriffs.
A little misleading, so coffee the cops.
Yeah, with the cops. There we go. And I went down with my camera because it was at a 1855 coffee house, and I got.
Did you ask a question? You didn't ask the question.
Well, he was just a bystander, kind of getting the ambiance and the.
I didn't. I
come
forgot.
on! It was the only reason I had you go down there.
You didn't have me go down.
Oh,
there.
that's right.
You should have gone down there.
Well,
it's your fault.
But yeah.
All right, so we can start from the left there, Joe, if you want.
No, I'm not going to. Now I'm going to
we
be doing
going-
illegal
are
things.
we going
rest of
left
the
to
night.
right?
I'm not gonna know.
Yeah.
So
we'll get you on the
I
next
tell you
one.
what, that's
Okay,
kinda nice
whose
stuff,
segment is
because
this?
it's-
Yeah,
it's
but
book
you
segment.
don't know one. You can always apologize later.
Here's the ambiance right here.
that's very nice.
There's
Clear.
There's Officer Jody, and then
That's
there's
Peter Hebner back there.
Yes, it
Officer
is.
Alex. This is Jim. I talked to him. Alex is right behind. You can't see him.
Oh
but-
yeah,
Officer
he's
Alex.
casing the joint. He's
yeah.
making sure things.
That was just a short.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it was.
This is
Yeah.
just short clip.
Yeah.
It's kind of
There's a lot
busy.
of. There's a lot of. It was
That's
very
not the
busy.
1855
Yeah.
coffee house. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about
In
it. Let's
historic.
do more.
And there's Peter again.
He's a Cubs fan.
It was cooking. I mean,
gosh.
it was cooking
There
big
was,
time.
When I first walked in there, there was 25 people in there.
What do these people want to know about?
I think they just want to be a part
Aren't
of
there
it.
aren't there
There's
new
nothing wrong with that.
aren't there new
Why weren't you there?
policemen?
You had questions you didn't even ask.
Curious
there's-
as to what I just don't know.
I think there's new policemen.
There are.
Oh,
Well, it's just to meet them.
it's just
There's
a meet and
Michelle,
greet.
Michelle.
owner proprietor of 1855 Coffee
She's
House.
working. She was busy,
Yep.
busy today, and she was all by herself.
Oh, tough.
And she was living in the Gap. She told me.
No, tough.
Hey, but this is stop for a second. We were down there this morning.
We sure were.
Well,
Before Coffee
that
with the
morning.
Cop.
We were down there that morning,
Yep.
and she fixed us a
Everything
bagel.
Deluxe, baby.
And
It was
and,
so
and,
good.
and this is what she did. I said, "We're going to share this. Could you cut it in half?" And unlike McDonald's, sorry, they wouldn't cut my sandwich in half, but she did. Boom, just like that. Why? Because she's got a
'Cause
knife
she's got a
down
knife.
there.
Oh,
Yep.
guess what
Pretty
she's
soon
got,
you're gonna
Dan?
have to ask a robot to cut that in half.
Exactly. If
Guess
things
what she's
keep
got
going
there,
this
Dan?
way,
Oh,
Yeah, she's got the kettle
cattle.
chips, baby.
you bet.
And
There's
then
the
we got-
vault.
Oh, missed it.
And then here we got some other celebs talking with. Talking. There's
Mr.
Scott.
Cartman
There's Scott.
and his
Johansson.
wife.
He was a deputy.
Yep.
Scott was a deputy.
No.
Oh,
He is, isn't
Mr.
he?
Cartman
Yep.
is a deputy.
Yeah.
He's
And there's
a
Jody.
co-worker with
and
her.
there's Scott Johannick.
Scott Johannick,
Yep.
Chamber of Commerce, and
A write-in.
running
He's going to be a write-in
for
and
the
it's
village.
His ploy or whatever you want to call it. His
I don't think
campaign.
you want
Yeah, his
thing is-
campaign. Listen.
There's Lynn.
His ploy.
And
Oh
Instaford.
yeah, Lynn Instaford.
His
Yep.
plug is don't panic. Write in Johannick.
Yep.
So there you go.
And there's Sue Dupay,
Oh yeah.
and I don't know who the other woman is, but that's the police
But
officer
that's Alex.
there.
Alex. Yep. He gave me his card.
Oh,
so if I
nice.
had any questions, I could call him and talk to him.
I didn't know that policemen had a card.
They do. Yeah. Anyway, if you could pause that for a second.
Could you please pause?
Did you say this?
there might be a
Did you
time-
say this to him? Deputy.
I did not.
Actually, is he sheriff?
it looks
Yeah,
like he
well, it
is. so
says
he's-
it's the Dane County Sheriff.
But
yeah.
he may be a deputy.
Drew Hudson
Deputy
also
sheriff.
might have said, "I'm gonna join up."
This is a soldier in line. What are you doing here?
I'm a joning up.
I'm the Jonah.
Well, yeah, because the sheriff is like the main dude or gal in Dane County, and then these guys are deputy sheriffs, all of them.
Oh, okay, I see.
Deputy.
Okay, back to my story. With
Deputy.
he said, if you have any questions, and I have a history of calling the police office, calling 911.
What?
Is one time in
night.
history?
Well, I called it one time.
I was just curious.
and they called me back.
One
then.
time.
I woke up and I had dialed
part of his
911
history.
in my sleep.
Yeah.
With these phones, you can hold a couple buttons together and it automatically calls.
What did you say when they came to the thing? Fault?
So
Did
I
you say?
heard the phone ringing, and I was like, "What is going on?"
He said,
and they said, "Hello."
Some bossness. Albert Padner, remember?
Yeah.
You said that he called in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
that's
they
a
came
very
to the
old
door,
story.
and I had to tell them that
Albert
I had accidentally, in my sleep, dialed 911. Awkward. And you guys didn't even know. She rang the deputy sheriff came to the door and rung the
We
doorbell.
were all cleeping.
Yeah. Anyway, that was that.
Cleeping booties.
So there's a couple more.
I can pay you for the calling.
Here's me. Here's me. I was just testing out the.
The cameras are so nice.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want your business to look like this?
This is you coming out of the bathroom.
No.
Oh, good. Did you try to match the doors?
Perfect.
What do you mean match the doors?
With your sweatshirt.
I was blending in.
Nice.
So I was just checking the cameras there.
Man, that was fortunate there.
Was my laugh loud, Johnny?
No. My head around my ears are itchy for
It's
some
okay.
reason.
You can be honest.
Nope.
And this is just
Now that man looks like he doesn't want to be on camera, but that's not it. He's just
That's Vicky
concentrating.
I was gonna say, what is he doing at Coffee with a Cop? He doesn't want to be noticed.
That's
Verna Wallace.
Verna Wallace.
Yeah, Michelle Barris, I think her name is back there. Or,
I think it's Vicky.
Vicky Barris, yep.
Yep.
There's Scott Johannick.
yeah.
Don't panic. Right in Johannick.
Yeah. And there's
This
Jody.
honestly looks like an advertisement for Coffee with a Cop. These guys look like they're acting, but they're that happy.
Yeah.
They
I
were.
know.
They're
And they
that
were all
happy.
glad
Well,
to
when
be
you-
letting me.
Except for that guy.
When you walk into Mazo's living room, 1855
Oh,
Coffee
yeah,
House, you feel happy.
These are kids. I don't know. Can
We better
Those
not.
were kids we were watching?
No, these will be.
These will be just kids.
I don't know if does YouTube have a thing that you're not supposed to.
I don't know.
You got
I'll probably
permission
skip
from
it.
their.
Let's be safe.
I got it from their parents. Their parents
That's
said I
okay.
could. They were doing a craft with a police officer.
Okay,
and
well,
so
Jody, is it Jody the police officer?
Jody the police officer.
Don't fool around because Jody will come and get you if you start
Yeah.
fooling around.
Yep.
so
kids
uh,
stuff.
there were a couple young
Let's
kids.
just go ahead and do it.
I don't know if we're supposed
Let's
to.
take a chance.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So their parents, I asked them for permission. They said we could. They were doing a craft with Jody. Yeah.
See, that's getting to know the police officer
Yep,
and feeling comfortable around
Yep.
them.
Yep.
Yep. So I was able to go down there and chat it up with some people, and I forgot to ask the question, of course. But
That is very nice, Hudson.
people of all ages were welcome. And
Wow.
that was the great thing.
That's great.
A slew of ages.
That
So
was excellent.
That was
Definitely getting
Mazomani
the campus
Sidewise.
a buzz
Nice.
in
Thank
there.
you.
Let's move on now to
Yeah, it'd kind of be interesting to
Drew.
see if they're both there. That it's a community outreach. You're trying to be at peace with the community.
Yeah.
It'd kind of be interesting to go jaywalking right in front of one of them right as you were leaving.
Hey, look at me.
Just gotta
And
see.
they tackle
You
you.
just
Me
gotta
up.
see. Just see what happens.
I'm the guy who was just talking with
It's
you.
having fun.
I had the good question.
Yeah.
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 all right. Now we're on
Man,
to
I really wish you would have asked.
Or
that
if they did
question.
something wrong, you could do a citizen's arrest.
citizen's
Citizen's
arrest.
arrest.
It's true.
You're kidding.
Citizens riot! Citizens riot! Citizens riot!
Okay, you want to
we
get
need to
going.
get on. We do. Because people want to get to Mike, and
We got to do Roy from
we
Elroy.
do.
first.
Yes, that's what I was gonna do. But
But I keep cutting.
Dad keeps Dad thinks this is the first
Is
time.
this your show?
We've been doing this
It's
for
a
a year,
year,
Dad.
They
It's
go
a
really
year.
low.
Drew.
Hudson, take
Okay,
care of
after
everything.
Hey,
You listen and out.
You know what I'm
knock
gonna
on
do?
the door.
I'm gonna do
Your
from now on. I'm
daddy
turning
show.
over a new leaf
nice.
for
If
the
you wanna
second
get on
year.
with
Well, it's gonna take you 4
podcast.
months.
Because I'm not gonna say.
get
I'm
it.
just not gonna say anything.
Oh, that's
I'm just
gonna be
gonna be
tough.
here, and people ask me questions,
Yeah,
and then
nice.
I'll chime in.
Anyway, we're gonna do the Adventures of Roy from Elroy.
And now, another edition of The Adventures of Roy from Elroy.
Roy has twice now. Last week, if you saw it, he sleeps in your bathtub. But the lip getting into the, they must be different sizes because he's gotten into ours twice and got caught
get out.
halfway.
I know, he's
and he
let
can't.
ours,
He,
too.
he doesn't have a reverse.
No.
He has no reverse.
And his-
so he was upstairs over here, and I was watching him, and I just taken a shower and was dressed. And too much information, I know, but he was just licking.
Hopefully
He was
it
licking the water in the bathtub, and he did that thing again. He got halfway. He just did the.
Well, his first when he gets in the tub and he tries to get out, his first decision is to give up.
I know.
It's his first instinct is to give up.
What would happen though? I mean, he was like stuck.
Well, he's
He
different
would just
because
stop.
Kobe, our other dog that we had a long while back, he would never go into the bathroom.
Yeah,
Never.
He was afraid of the tile.
Yeah, it was slippery, I guess.
But you had another event. What was that?
Well, we were coming home from a walk with him, and there was a rabbit. You guys saw it. There was a rabbit, and we tried to get him to chase it, and he's a heifer.
Mm-hmm.
He's a coward. And he wouldn't chase. He was afraid of it. He retreated. Retreat.
He had the hair on the back of his neck.
How about you?
Up, but
What did Michelle call that?
hackles. He got his hackles
Yeah,
up.
his hackles were up.
Salty. He was salty.
He was salty.
Oh, that's right. She was a veterinarian.
Vet tech.
That's right.
She's a vet
yeah,
tech.
She
I
sure
forgot about
was.
that. Yeah,
Van
but he
Shindig.
is getting thick and bigger.
I bet she's close to 50 pounds now.
Doing quite a bit better at listening.
I think
Yeah.
50.
I bet she's close.
Yes, he is.
He's long.
Yes, he is.
I mean, yeah.
He's no longer big, bad, disobedient Roy.
No.
He's
He
big,
went over
bad,
and saw.
obedient
He went
Roy.
over and saw his friend Lambo.
Yep.
Yeah.
You'll see that, right?
That was fun.
Video of that.
Yep. He's catching Lambo in size.
Yes.
He's thicker than Lambo is.
Lambo's older than him.
Lambo's about a month older and a little bit taller
But they
still.
do
but
still have the Black Earth Mazo rivalry.
Yeah, they do.
You
They
can
do.
tell sometimes they're both a little standoffish to each other. They don't really like that. But
we were on Lambo's turf this time.
it'll be good though that they'll be going to school together.
Yeah.
soon,
So, doggy daycare. All right. I think that's
He's going to
pretty
miss
good.
the snow.
He got a flea collar.
time.
That's
For many reasons, he's going to
yeah.
miss the snow. He really likes the snow.
Yeah.
For bathroom breaks.
Bathroom breaks, yeah.
he likes sticks.
Playing
He
around
finds, if there's a pile of snow, he finds it.
Yeah.
To
Bring back
relieve
spring
himself.
to bring back the
So,
winter. That's what he's been singing.
yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, that's it.
I think
That's
that's
a good note to
about-
leave it on.
He got a new flea collar that smells like formaldehyde.
Did you
doesn't smell good.
did you guys get any video of him chasing around that laser pointer?
We have before. Deshaun had a laser that he's run, but we can do it again. We'll get him.
Yeah.
We'll, that,
Yeah,
that's
he
next
likes
week.
that
You know
laser
what
pointer.
his friends call him when he does that? Mazer.
Oh,
Major
let's
laser.
call him Mazer.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Without further ado, you guys have been patient, and if you haven't skipped through this already, we will be moving on to our second part of
Some of them just gotten permission to skip through.
yeah, Mike Wilkinson's part 2 of 3 right now.
Oh, we got to be all serious again.
Yeah, we got
all those great stories.
Yeah, and so many off-camera laughs. We should have turned it on. Yeah.
We're not good enough actors to pretend to do it over again.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Well, we're back. Original father-son voiceover podcast. Todd, Dad, Joe, Drew, John, Mike. Mike, thanks for joining us again. Mike, I'm just introducing you as a Wisconsin Heights grad, UW Badger grad player, professional basketball player. That's all I'm doing. So we kind of left off. We talked a little bit about your Badger career. I think do we have some of those clips ready to go? So we have a couple clips, some highlights and stuff. We tried to pick from the DVDs that we were given. So we just wanted to go through. What's that? Oh, sure. So we just wanted to run through a couple of these. We have some of the games. Joe can speak up too a little bit because we watched them together. But just wanted to go through some of these highlights and games and get maybe some of your reaction to some of those. So I don't know. Can you see that okay?
Nope.
Okay.
So I think the first game that we have on here is Michigan State at home your senior year.
Okay.
And so I think it was either you guys at that time had a 37 game home winning streak.
Yes.
Or it was either 36 and that was going to be 37, or it was 37 going to be 38.
I think it was one of those two because it was just before we played Illinois, I believe, a couple games before, maybe.
Okay. But you guys were down towards the end by maybe like 5 or 6 points, and it was looking pretty bleak. And so we have just some like just bring kind of some highlights for you, and then towards the end.
Okay.
So.
Yeah,
you can talk. Feel free to say pause it, or if you have something to add, because we'd like to maybe have some story or whatever.
Oops.
It's all right. Pretty good players on that Michigan State team.
Yeah, a few of them played in the NBA. A lot of seniors.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, we didn't start off real good in this game.
No.
Did you like Ed Hightower as a ref?
Yeah, I mean, the refs all talk to me a little bit, and they let me get away.
Okay.
I got away with some stuff, and they'd always let me know if it was too much or not enough. And
That's always nice. Have a conversation.
Yep.
Drew Neitzel.
Drew Neitzel. It's nice when they guard me with small people. Paul Davis was a handful to play against, though. He's not a small guy.
How tall was he?
6'10".
Okay, yeah.
He was 6'10", you said?
He's 6'10". Yeah, he's 6'10", and he was probably 260.
Oh, wow.
250, 260.
Did you have? I know that I'm obviously not a very big guy, but other guys that play in the post. I mean, Dad has talked about in the past where, you know, sometimes smaller, thicker guys would get into his legs and he'd have a harder time with that. Whereas tall guys, he could get into their body. Did you have a specific size, you know, like 6'10", 6'11", that you felt comfortable with, or did you not mind playing guys your size?
It was always different. I mean, I played against some guys that were 6'10", 6'11", they were 350 pounds, and it didn't matter. You couldn't move them.
Okay.
I mean, but I definitely felt that playing against some smaller guys was more of a challenge.
Yeah.
Especially smaller guys that spent their whole time playing in the post.
Okay.
Because it was all about who made contact first. So if you had small guys that didn't want to make contact first, then they were easy to play against.
Yeah.
But if they wanted to just fight you the whole time, they always tried to get lower than you were, and then you have to change how you play. So either you face them up or something to get them off you, and then you can play. But yeah, it just presents different challenges.
And what was maybe one of the taller guys you played, like in college, let's say? What was one of the taller guys you ever played against?
I mean, we played against plenty of guys that were 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot. Guy from, but that's the thing, you play against some of the guys from Temple that were 6'10", 6'11", 350 pounds is one thing to play against, and then you play against a guy from Tennessee that's 6'11", 210 pounds and super athletic. So it's just very different styles of games.
Yeah.
But one of the things we notice here, which I remember, is you do get very low on people. When you're posting up or guarding them, you get lower than them.
It's a lot easier to keep your ground when you're lower than their center. They can't push you out of the way. Exactly. But you just have to make sure that you keep your balance enough that you don't end up falling down.
Yeah.
The other thing I appreciated is just the way you guys move the ball. It's kind of nice to watch. It's kind of refreshing. Well, because that doesn't happen so much nowadays.
No, he's a lot more dribble drive now. The game's changed a lot that way. But I mean, playing defense, it's easier to play defense when the ball is staying on one side or not moving, because you find your position. You know where your guy that you're guarding is, and you can help a lot more when you're trying to fight through screens and move. Now your help defense is not the same as it is when you can just stand there and not have to worry.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe and I were watching some of these DVDs of old games, and it's just, I mean, there was nothing flashy about that Badger team, in my opinion. There was nothing very flashy, but you just, the ball was moving a lot, and, posting up and, moving on the backside, moving without the ball it's just a lot of, that's kind of basketball I like to play and I like to watch, because you just get everybody involved, and it's just a lot of fun to watch.
Well, this also makes a difference too. Like, everything's based timing wise. So you're moving the ball. There's no reason to post up when the ball's on the other side of the court, because now you have to hold your possession all the way around the court. So you wait and you let the defense, you walk your defender down, and then when you post up right when the ball's going to the wing, because if your timing's off, people can't make the pass anyway.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing you see now with a lot of this stuff is someone's making a cut, and then the guy that can pass him the ball is not ready to pass him the ball, so they can't pass it to him even if he's open.
Right. Yeah.
So, and then I was just going to point out, I think that Zach Morley there, I think he was I just saw that he was reffing in a WIAA state tournament game.
Yep, Zach played overseas and with I played against him a few times when I was overseas, but he's reffed a bunch of WIA stuff now, and he enjoys it. And not a lot of people yell at him too much. A little bit here and there. He seems to be around basketball a little bit more than some of the referees, but he says he enjoys it. So
his hairstyle has changed since his college days.
he said it was a whole lot easier to just shave it off and not have to worry about having someone cut it overseas.
Yeah. Oh, I see. So he did that overseas.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was just a hairline thing, but it was just more of a.
It was starting to recede a little bit, and he didn't want to deal with trying to explain to someone how to cut it when they don't speak English, and so it just decided to go, and it's just stuck.
Yeah. And then the last thing I see, I don't know about the Davis guy, if he made it to the NBA or not.
He did.
But then Shannon Brown, who ended up playing for the Lakers, I think he won a championship with them.
Yep.
And then Alan Anderson.
Yep. Alan Anderson played for.
Those are the ones I know.
The Hornets, I believe.
Okay.
And then Drew played overseas, and Ager played overseas, and Torbert, I don't believe, did.
How about Hill? Did Hill play anywhere?
Hill played overseas.
Okay. All right.
Did any of the players you played with here, did they play overseas on the Badger here, like Clayton?
Tucker played in the NBA for a while and then went overseas. Morley played overseas right from the start. Clayton Clayton lives in New York now, I believe. He went into the stock market and banking or financing stuff. Cam has played overseas for a little bit now. He said he had his own clothing line at one point. But I can't remember what Tucker's doing now. I just saw him. He was down at All-Star Weekend, and his kid got Kevin Durant's jersey, his throwback jersey from when the Suns just played. It was his Durant's second game playing.
Wow!
And it was crazy because he was talking about it on Facebook, and it was. He said something about just getting my son just got the throwback jersey from the guy that was number 1 in the Player of the Year voting, and I was number 2.
Wow, that's a nice little benefit. Yeah,
exactly.
So we go ahead. You can just spin through here. Nice little pass.
That good left hand you guys have.
I didn't know Chambliss played at Penn State. I didn't realize that.
I miss Vern Lundquist calling games.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's nice to have Vern and Billy Packer calling your name. I thought that'd be kind of fun to talk about you.
Do you remember the atmosphere at the Kohl Center? Was it electric?
It was always awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you play big games like this, and the fans, you put together a run and it get loud in there, and I mean, it was unbelievable.
Do you remember running out, like the first time, your freshman year or whatever, even when you knew you weren't playing, was that heart going quite a bit?
Well, I got spoiled being our senior year. Every gym we played in was packed.
Yeah.
And I mean, you go to play. The JV was having fun because the gym was full when they were playing.
Yeah.
So you got used to those crowds, and it made such a big difference. Just the extra energy being around it. And even we go on the road, and you take that negative energy from places, and when it was real loud, you just figure out ways to feed off of that and play. Like Michigan State, at least I love when people would say stuff, or I mean, there's just the competitor. I mean, this is what you live for.
Yeah.
What was the hardest? What was the hardest place to play, in your opinion? I mean, just
the hardest place to play. I mean, it was more about shooting backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah,
like it was always hard to play at Northwestern because it was just such a different. There was no space behind the basket. It's more like a high school gym.
Okay.
Or you get you play in those high school gyms that have like the checkerboard patterns right behind the basket. It kind of throws off the depth perception. Or When we played in like the football arenas where you'd look and it'd just be space behind one end, and you're like, well, that changes how everything's kind of viewed because you never really think about it, but it's just all reaction.
Yeah. Well, maybe when you're practicing too, there's nobody there when you're behind that, and then all of a sudden there's people.
Oh, I mean, you never even pay attention to that. Like, I could be out on the floor and you'd be playing basketball, and you could hear the coach crystal clear across the court, no matter how loud it was in there. And I mean, I played in some places where by the time you were done, your ears were ringing.
What was one of the loudest opposing places you played in?
Michigan State and Illinois are always two of the ones.
Okay.
Purdue is always real loud just because it was all concrete and everything just echoed so much in there. I mean, you bounce a basketball and it was loud just bouncing a basketball in practice with no one there. But yeah, places like that. Indiana was always loud. I mean, we were always good, so we always got big crowds wherever we wanted to go. Everyone wanted to beat us.
Yeah.
All right, so this is where you guys are coming back.
Clayton had a good game shooting. We were watching. He had a good game shooting at the end, especially.
I mean, that's what he did.
Yeah. Oh, 4 of 6. Wow. No.
Multiple defensive stops here.
Yeah. I think this game was without Tucker. I don't think he was playing this game.
Hurt. He was hurt.
I think
he wasn't much help.
He started out, right?
Oh, he started out.
But he was
back.
kind of limping around and stuff. He wasn't great. At least that's what I remember.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was with that.
Foul or not, Mike?
Well, you jump into me.
Yeah, I understand.
Your hands are straight up, and once you make contact, I mean that was always something I did. Is once you make contact, well, where do your hands naturally go? They always come down, and that's that. Everyone always, once you make contact, everyone always turns or puts the ball out. I got so many like tips or deflections. Even now, I still do that at open gym. Everyone, you knock someone back, and they stick the ball out, trying to get their own balance back, and the amount of times you find hands or something and stuff doesn't get called, it's
well, they agreed with you, so
yeah.
Good no call.
Yeah, there you go.
He says
that's gospel.
Yeah. Morley finishing Anderson off there with just a little pile drive.
I couldn't jump, so I just stood my ground most of the time.
Yeah.
That was one of those bone crushing. Well, close to.
I remember that. So that play there is set up to he's just supposed to go off.
Okay.
And they got lazy on it.
Yeah.
And kept going under to one of those things where I told him that I was just gonna give it back to him. And there was no one there.
Yeah. So you were supposed to take it high post there
so
and turn?
it's he passes it to me and he cuts off me every time and we come back to the same side.
Okay.
And you do it enough times and then the defender starts getting lazy, and you start to go and then you just toss it back to him, and the defender was just he started going under, and now you got to go under two people, and then by that time you're already too late to get back.
So take us late game in like a huddle, when coach calls a timeout. A lot of times now, and maybe it's different. I'm sure it's different from coaching staff to coaching staff. But did you find, like for Bo Ryan, was he normally the guy drawing up the play, or did he have assistants sometimes that would do that?
I think most of the time he was the guy drawing up the play. But I mean, we'd run a play. And we knew what they were doing most of the time. So we talk about, this is going to be open, or this is what we were looking for off of certain things, because we're always looking to take advantage of mismatches or matchups here and there. But like that one, it was like, we want to get the ball inside. And I remember telling Cam that, because we've done that in several games, but when people start to get lazy, we take advantage of that. And we cleared out that whole side, so there's only one guy in the corner. Who do you help off that and you get a wide open shot in the corner then, because you're never supposed to help all side, and everyone else is involved in action on the strong side. So
yeah. So at least Bo Ryan, he would a lot of times kind of feedback. You would feed back and forth with each other, like, hey, this is what we're seeing.
He'd tell us what we'd want, and then we just go out and talk about this is what's going to be off of what we're seeing in the huddle. And I mean,
so you'd run the play, but communicate within that play what you're looking at.
What we're looking at. He'd tell us what he wants to get out of it, and then we'd be like, well, this is what we're going to see. If he goes under this, we're going to do this.
Okay.
That type of stuff. Like if he got lazy again and didn't fight over the top, then that's what we were going to do, and it just Cam made a big shot.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it's now 60-59 with some maybe like a minute and a half left or so.
So I bet you it's rocking in there right now.
Oh, it was just, yeah. See, he was playing way off there to begin with. He's just getting lazy.
Yeah.
21 seconds left, I guess. Another good stop.
Yeah, that's what he needs to make. But it's amazing how hard it is to actually make a shot when someone's standing there just straight up and down, and you're trying to jump into them and they don't move.
Yeah.
So this is 38.
Right. Yeah, this would have been 38.
Yep. So this is the game before we play Illinois at home,
and they're
the ones that beat us.
Weren't they ranked number one that year?
They were number one almost the entire year.
Wow. They had a good team.
Brown, yep.
Yeah.
Augustine.
Yep, that was a good team.
They only lost one game in the regular season.
You see Morley, I don't think he thought he was going to make that. He went right away. He stepped over, yeah. He wasn't looking to slap anybody's hand either.
Then you gave him a little confidence here.
Yeah, come on, you're all right. Was Morley from Wisconsin or was he from Illinois?
Missouri.
Oh, Missouri. No.
Oh, wow. That was on screen.
Oh.
I like how the ball goes out, then the horn goes probably like 0.3 or 4 seconds later, and Teddy just goes like that. So we're just done. That wouldn't happen these days. They go to the monitor and see how much time's left.
That's the thing. The ball never bounced. It was one of those ones that is chipped out. So it's wherever it touches a fan or it touches the backboard is where it's technically out of bounds.
Oh, really?
Okay. So the clock doesn't stop when it crosses the line.
Wow.
Okay.
So it actually has to hit out of bounds.
It has to hit out of bounds to be out of bounds. That's like if you throw the ball up in the air, the clock doesn't stop until it touches. If it touches something on the ceiling, it's out of bounds.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
I was going to ask you a question. So going back just for a second, so you were recruited by Dick Bennett.
Yes.
And then he leaves.
Yep. He retired.
Yeah, retired. And then
Brad Soderberg took over.
So then what were you were redshirting at that point. So did you have any thoughts of like
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, we never had any thoughts of ever considered leaving or anything. Dick Bennett's told me that that's one of his biggest regrets was not getting to coach me more in college. I mean, he recruited me to come play a 3 there, not play a 4 or 5.
Really?
So he wanted me to come off screens and shoot, and that was where we were going to go was that because he ran the blocker mover type stuff, and he wanted me to kind of come off screens or be a foreman that can come off screens too. So it's just how it worked out. And I mean, when Soderberg, we had a rough year with finishing out with just losing to Georgia State, and we wanted to see where things went after that. And they hired Coach Ryan, and we never looked back from any of that stuff. I know Coach Ryan's first year, we picked to finish last in the Big Ten. Ended up winning it.
Wow. And that was your first
First
redshirted freshman year.
I mean, the only people that we had back was Trayvon Davis and Charlie Willis. That was the only people that had playing experience coming back.
Wow.
And then that was Devin's freshman year, right?
That was Devin's freshman year.
And your redshirt freshman year.
Yep.
So Devin's a year younger than you, basically.
Yes. Well, technically we were the same. Yeah, he's a year younger, but we were the same grade in school.
Okay.
Playing wise. Well, we had Kirk Penny coming back too, but I mean, he was only a sophomore.
Oh, okay. And he was he redshirting? Oh no, this is your senior year. Did he play your redshirt freshman year? Was he playing?
Kirk
as a
was
freshman?
playing, yes.
Okay, got it.
And then he went back and played on the national team for New Zealand in the summer months.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, we didn't have a lot of time with him in the summer months because he was busy with that stuff.
And what was that redshirt year like? I mean, obviously you could practice.
So we practice all the time against the guys, and I spent a lot of time in the weight room and spent a lot of time actually with some of the football guys. They come in and we play one-on-one after.
Oh, really?
After hours, or I go over to the surf or the shell, and we'd just play pickup games against people. And I mean, you'd be on the court for an hour and a half before you ever lost the game, and it's just playing.
Yeah.
So, it's just always in the gym. I mean, I spent a lot of time in the gym.
Getting back to, I guess we'll talk about the college game. Did the Badgers have? I'm assuming obviously they had the strength and conditioning guys. Did they also have nutritionists? Like, I mean, did they talk about what they wanted you eating and have food programs for you?
I mean, we always got one meal a day.
Okay.
So while we were in season, you get one meal a day, whether it be training table or whatnot. They told me not to come back to the farm because every time I came back to the farm away from school, I lost weight.
Really?
So I did different stuff and wasn't eating much. I mean, for me to gain weight, it was over 10,000 calories a day I was eating.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we were burning stuff that fast. I mean, when the tissues, we took body samples like body fat testing and stuff, and I think the highest I ever was in season was like 4.5%. But I mean, so you're burning fat all the time. You're working out. So they were giving me Ensure for extra calories. I was drinking Ensure, and they told me not to drink water, just to drink juice and other fluids that had calories in it. So you're getting all the extra stuff that you could get. But it worked out. I mean, we lifted a ton of weights and got to play we played all the time. And
was there ever a thought during your redshirt season? I know rules have kind of changed a little bit. Could you have decided to remove the red shirt at some point play?
I could have, but it would have cost me a full year. It wasn't the same as now where you get so many games to decide on your red shirt. That type of stuff. But so it was, the decision had to be made before the season started. And if you played 1 minute, then your red shirt was off.
Wow. Yeah, Joe and I were talking about that. We thought that it was something like that.
Yep.
Because sometimes I'll see a player play couple 3-4 games, and then all of a sudden they won't play the rest of the year, and it's like, I wonder what happened to that guy. And they say, oh, he redshirted.
Yep.
I thought, wait a second, I thought he played.
Nope.
But yeah, the rules are different now.
Well, there's also a lot more games now. I mean, when I left, I was top 10 in 10 different categories in UW history for basketball, and that was minutes played, games played, all that stuff. And now we were playing 25, 26 games a year, and now they're playing 34, 35. So, I mean, there's a lot more games getting played.
Well, and with the COVID year now, everybody gets to play 7 years of college basketball.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was looking up some of your minutes played and stuff like that, and it's like some people will never be able to catch the Walls and the guys that have played for. I think some have played 6 or 7 years, right?
Yeah, it's close.
Yep, that's how Tucker got my offensive rebounding record. He played half the year and then got the medical red shirt, so he got the extra year. Otherwise, he would never have caught my offensive rebounding record.
Yeah.
A lot of asterisks there.
Yeah, it seems like it.
That's the thing. I mean, that's why it's hard to compare players from the past that were only playing 12, 13 games. Or, I mean, you got guys that were just unbelievable. Like, what was it? Sherrod was averaging like 20-some points a game for his career or something at UW. Or
Wow.
There's some crazy stats.
Well, even that guy almost broke Pistol Pete's record. And Pistol Pete played 3 years.
Yep.
And I don't know how many games.
Right.
Like 83 or something like that.
No
and the other
three-point
guy,
line.
No 3-point line.
And the
He
other
averaged,
guy
like,
played 5 years, I think.
Yep.
And like a bunch of games. It's like, wow.
Yep, it's that way across all sports, though. I mean, you have to kind of compare eras instead of players now.
Right. Yeah. Difficult. If you want to just go ahead and
We got about 3 more minutes.
So
of
what
stuff.
what you wanted to do is we do want to just kind of spin ahead to a few of those highlights. We have a little bit of a highlight reel for some things that I think it was. Oh, actually, this
Indiana was a good game.
You want
Let's
to
watch
talk
that
about that one real quick? So
That one ended real interesting.
Okay.
That's the one that Tucker missed. I got the rebound. I missed. Tucker got the layup, made it at the end of the game, and we ended up winning.
And this was at this one's at Wisconsin. Okay. Yep.
7-2. The Badgers jump ahead.
Says Brent Musburger on the call.
Yeah. You bet.
More crisp than we saw them last week against Michigan State. Left hand, it's Wilkinson in low.
I didn't know Patrick Ewing's son played.
Nope.
Patrick Ewing Jr., right?
Nope.
At the end of the game, his numbers are impressive. Just a competitive, tough individual. I like Robert Baden. And here is Wilkinson stepping out.
Foul?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a foul.
Now, yes. Then, no.
Yeah.
There, so you get low there.
Yeah.
Jump stop, the lean, and gets the bounce. Look, shot fake. Commitment there by Ewing. Seeing that, recognizing that, drives it, and it's the soft bounce for big man with the broad shoulder.
Do you like those Sterling basketballs?
I did. They were soft.
Yeah.
And didn't get slippery when you got sweaty.
In on Chambliss. Couldn't score it. Ratliff couldn't get to the rebound. Tracked down by Wisconsin. Mike Davis during this stretch.
Big guys handle the ball well.
Yeah.
For the Badgers, that was nice to have that.
Well, we never really handled the ball as much as we could have.
Sure.
It was just a very different game.
Looking for answers there.
Not thrilled with that.
No, if I remember right, this is the game I had like 19 in the first half.
Yep.
Yep.
He's going, we talked about this in practice. Why are they not? You were going to say, though, about how that, because that's all they had about that one. Did you say how it ended?
Yeah.
Did you say
Yeah, that was the game that we were down 1, and I think Tucker shot a jump shot, and he was fading away, so it ended up being an air ball. I caught the air ball under the basket, missed the layup, and off the front of the rim, and Tucker came and cleaned up the layup, made the basket, and got fouled, and we ended up winning by like 2, I think.
I think it was 62-60.
Yep.
But you guys won.
Yeah, but it was just one of those things where when he shot it, you could see that it was going to be short, and I ended up coming just the right place, but then I had to try and shoot it with my back to the basket because I knew the clock was running down.
So I think I think you had 26 or 28
Yep.
that game.
Well, as we said, that was part 2 of Mike's interview.
Yeah.
And we've got a part 3. That'll be next week in episode 53.
part
So
was
thank
even
you for
better than the
sticking with
first.
us. And we've got just a little bit more for you on this 52nd episode year anniversary.
Nice.
Had to think about that before I said it.
And what is it?
We got the Wonder Wheel.
The Wonder Wheel. Yep. So I guess
So John's going to start.
I'll spin it.
Flick that wheel.
Ooh, nice. We'll go with Trace or 3.
3 is, and you can choose to answer this immediately or pass.
But you gotta answer it at some point.
Favorite gym or PE, Fayed, class activity. Favorite gym class activity?
I guess you said I can start since I spun, or
You can start first. Yep, or you can pass.
I think I liked dodgeball. Wow, dodgeball, especially when it was in
Ring John's bell, ring John's bell.
Especially in high school.
Battle ball? Was that another way for
No, battle bell.
Battle ball or
dodgeball. Dodgeball, same thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think there might be a few different rules, but well, I guess it was all throughout, but especially with Mr. Andrews, Stan, he just kind of let things go, and I had a pretty decent arm, and so it was fun to kind of throw it and
Unleash the beast.
Unleash the beast.
Well, you do have two good arms.
Yeah, one good arm that was, well, kind of. I mean,
Not these days.
Well, more so the way that I as good as I can throw left-handed, I throw really poorly right-handed. I mean, some people can throw decent opposite, like it kind of
Most
looks
people are
natural.
amphibious.
Mine
No.
looks really bad.
No, just to clarify.
Yeah.
Now, like down in Mazo, when the gym was still available, then they had a basket of battle balls, and what they were is kind of
harder plastic,
a little harder foam,
foam.
kind of little very very light plastic, so that you could throw them. They would go, but very soft. Did all of you play with the old battle balls? That is the round red.
Yep.
Kickball
At least
type
I did.
thing.
Yeah,
so we
it
had smaller
changed.
ones and bigger ones.
Sometimes we'd have that. Sometimes we'd have volleyballs, and sometimes you'd. Well, I think middle school maybe middle school, and then like depended on, there was 2 gym teachers at the time, and just depended, I think, what grade you were in, that which one you got. One of them would, if you were going against the girls, you had to throw like you said, like this.
Okay.
Kind of, or you had to, maybe it was even like throw left. I can't remember exactly, but it was
opposite hand. You mean
make it a little bit more so you weren't chucking it if you did it girls versus guys, which was most of the time. But then there was Mr. Andrews, who
You mean co-ed?
Co-ed, sorry.
Okay,
Yep.
not girls versus guys.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
didn't
sorry.
People,
Yep,
I just didn't want people thinking.
Did all of you guys have mixed the co-ed?
Yep.
Yeah. See, we
Yes.
never did.
Well, we
had a
technically did
female gym teacher and a male gym teacher, and we had, when I was in school, it was not
Yes.
integrated.
We had a class my senior year that had one girl in it. She decided to take, it was called team sports, and there was one girl, and we had a stacked lineup of athletes in there. All of us were friends and stuff like that.
Calbert was in there?
Cal was in there. Yep, and some other guys. But she decided because there weren't any other.
Stacked would be going at one.
Yeah, there weren't any other girls in there, so she went and they gave her a study hall because she didn't want to be in there with all of us, which I get it. So then we had all guys. It was just all guys playing floor hockey.
That was
fun. Battle ball, kickball,
all out war.
What?
We had some fun times with Zach Colby, aka Ray Charles. We would call him because he would ref and he
wouldn't see everything.
and then he would play, and then all of the calls would go his way.
So
just a funny. Anyway.
So yeah, that was fun doing that. Battle ball or dodgeball, whatever you call it, just because. And it usually fell on a Friday. It felt like 2 or whatever it was.
It just felt right about
It felt like the end of the year, kind of.
Yeah.
Did you have gym every year you were in high school?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you have gym 3 times a week?
That sounds right.
Okay.
I just remember with Stan. So Stan, and you people can fill in. Stan Andrews was this scary figure. That was an ex. Was he? He was in the Army or Marines or something.
But he played football for the Badgers.
And he played football for the Badgers.
Yeah.
And he just was a scary.
If he wasn't a Marine sergeant, he should have been a Marine sergeant.
He just was. There was just kind of an aura about him that you didn't want to. You didn't want to mess with him, even at being old.
Yeah. I get it.
And so with that being said, he was then old school about things. Like I remember when we were in elementary school, if you got hit in the head by a ball, you weren't out. But Stan's thing was so we grew up with that, and then you'd get into high school, and you'd say, "Stan, I got hit in the head," and he'd say, "Well, in a rock fight, are you out?" Meaning, yeah, if you get hit in the head in a rock fight, you're still out. Like, or you can decide to stay in if you want.
Yeah.
Go ahead if that's what you want. But that was just funny. That was how that was his level of do what you want, but we're not calling. It's not like you get to stay in if you get hit in the head. So
yeah, and so we had co-ed as well for that kind of stuff, and he would let anybody that didn't want. And there were a couple guys from time to time that didn't want to be a part of it either, because there weren't any real rules. I mean, obviously there was a line that you couldn't pass, but he didn't have don't throw left-handed. He didn't have any rules for if you're out playing, you were all fair game.
Well,
so
what he would do is he usually had a
kitchen. Yeah,
he usually had, at least when I was in high school, because of regulations and such, he would have to move to those softer balls. Well, then every once in a while he would mix in some
of those kickballs,
some kickballs or volleyballs. And he'd just say, all right, if you want in, you're in. If you want out, this is your chance to get out.
That's when it becomes real a little bit more, doesn't it? Yeah.
So that made it sometimes some fun too. Yeah. So
that's it for me.
When he, speaking of Stan Andrews, when he was the football coach, varsity football coach, the first one they had at Heights. And I remember hearing stories from my older cousins of some of the stuff that went on in football practice. And those of you who have heard those stories, those were true. But he took that mentality, that football wrestling mentality, into gym class. And we, of course, didn't have girls in there. And so it was just all out war all the time. And he would have the basketball players wrestle against the wrestlers. And then the wrestlers play. He liked to pit people up against one another. And I remember one time my cousin Perry, he was about 6'3" and 200 pounds. He wanted to wrestle Stan Andrews. Dumb. And I mean, Stan wasn't tremendously young, but he was probably, in his upper 30s. Stan took Perry up through his legs, one on his shoulder, up through his legs, and threw him on his head. Oh, no problem at all. Done. Perry done. Perry was done.
Perry not so bright.
Yeah, exactly. And so that was the kind of stuff. And there were a few times when what we were supposed to do, you get your gym clothes on, and you're supposed to line up on the line. If you didn't line up on the line, if you were goofing off, frogging around, and he came around the corner, it was calisthenics the whole time. Calisthenics.
For everybody, right?
Everybody. And we would have basketball games that night. Didn't matter.
He was probably hoping.
Yeah, he probably was.
Around on a basketball
he
night.
did not have a lot of patience for basketball players.
I mean, he was so much more tame because of society and all that other stuff when I was in school. So that's not, I don't want to make it sound like he was the same as he was when you were in high school.
No, he even softened some. But I remember coaching junior high basketball, and when he was out there still doing gym, I remember a couple of things. I would come in the gym, and all of a sudden he would yell, and that would scare me. And I was quote a faculty member, and sometimes I would hear how people would talk to him, and I said, "You can't talk to him that way. He's going to kill you." But he had softened, and like you said. But back to the
original question.
Favorite things. That's battle ball. Was that your favorite too? Or dodgeball?
Well, let's go to Hudson. And let's
my bad.
Well, I guess I don't matter anymore. My favorite was my senior year. We invented a game, kind of. It was team handball. We used a kind of a soccer ball. It was kind of furry. It was green, but it was lighter than a basketball and smaller.
Exactly.
And we would have the hoops down. So team handball, and we had the air hockey nets, or the floor hockey nets out.
Okay.
You'd have a goalie in there. A goalie was in there, but you could also shoot into the basket. We called it super speedball. That's what it was called. Super. So you could drop it, and there's speedball, and then there's super speedball. And you could drop kick it into the goal for 2 points. You could throw it into the goal for 1 point, or you could shoot a 3 from behind the 3-point line and make it. For 3 points. So that was a lot of fun. We kind of invented that and played that a lot. Not as much as kickball my sophomore year, Stan's last year there.
So which one was your favorite?
Well, super speedball. Okay. I'm just saying we played kickball for like 4 months at the end of the year. Every day, kickball.
Every
4
day.
months.
Yeah, we're going kick today.
My favorite was we played even more super speedball.
That
was even more fun.
That you did even more inventing.
Yep. You could kick it from outside the gymnasium, and if it broke a window, It was
went
17
over the
points.
gym.
14.
Yeah, went on to Highway 14. Yeah.
No, I'm just teasing. I have two that I'm torn between, but I'm gonna come.
Twixt two loves there.
Yeah, I'm torn between
These are your top
those two
10?
loves. It was I liked sponge hockey.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Like
called.
Q-tips.
Yep, they look like Q-tips.
Yeah.
And that was fun. I liked
That
that
was
because
fun.
it was fun. They were light, and then you could just whack them, like
Whack
just
people?
whack the ball. No, whack the ball. That was
yeah.
fun. Or big base kickball.
Oh, you liked that?
Mm-hmm.
I ran into somebody. You do the diagonal. Didn't see him coming. We ran right into each other.
I liked that. I was pretty good at that game too, where you'd play with the whole gymnasium, and you would kick
Gymnasium.
it, the old James, and you'd go in there and you'd kick the ball, and then you'd have to run to the first base that was over to your right, that was
Like
real
10 feet
short.
away.
Then you had to run diagonally across
To the other baseline,
corner
yeah.
of the. It
You're
was
going from corner to corner,
box to box, making it very
Making it
difficult.
very difficult.
Mm-hmm. And so anyway, that was I'm torn between those, but I think I'd probably go with big base kickball.
Okay.
But you got to be kidding me. Everything you just said
is
is my favorite
thing every day.
Every day.
I think we played floor hockey. I like floor hockey.
But you had Stan Andrews?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we played a little bit of that. We played a lot of kickball.
Yes.
We're going to go kick.
We're going kick today.
We did
You gotta tell that story.
we did handball and we did racquetball.
Mm-hmm.
And team
He would do like a really, really short segment of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But that was probably good. I remember my freshman year, we had 9 people. 9 people in our freshman year. And Andrew Mascow would miss almost every Monday. I don't know where he was.
Mascow
He-
Mondays.
Yeah, right. So then we'd end up with 8. And so, but we tried to play basketball sometimes, and it's like you can't play with 8 people or 9 people.
And he wouldn't play, of course.
Yeah. But we also did wrestling and, but yeah, I like floor hockey. I really like battle too. I really liked that. That was
You
fun.
know what he also made us do?
What else did he make? You do?
The military or whatever
The Marine
President.
physical fitness.
Well, I don't know if it was for us. It was
Marines,
Marine,
so-
but it felt like the Marines to me. I did terribly on those, and he was so tough on his grading. It was like you had to get like 50 push-ups
You would do
in order to get an
push-ups.
A.
Yeah, you would do push-ups. And you do, in fairness, I probably wasn't doing the push-ups the right way, but you'd get
First,
5
he'd stick
out.
his foot out. That was
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I'm saying that he would stick his foot out.
story, Joe.
Take it
No,
away.
he would stick his foot out.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're right.
for
I
you, he's
wasn't
getting that.
telling it right.
Okay.
Go ahead. You would stick his foot
He
out.
would stick his foot out, and he would say, "You'd touch your chin to his foot in order to count as one."
Oh, I thought it was always your chest.
Yep.
Or maybe it was your
put
chest.
his hand down like this.
And
You
then
had it even more difficult than we
yeah,
did.
and then he would start counting. Anyway,
Sometimes
Go
you'd be
ahead.
5 or 6 in.
Yeah.
Like, wait.
and then he'd
And
say,
they'd
just tell
one.
me
"You
right
go
off the bat.
1," and
Yeah.
you'd go, "What?"
And I just said, I would sit there. I'd say, well, I just did a fifth of what I can do,
Yeah.
and now I've done 1. So I'm going to crank out 5 of these.
Which then also made you worse at doing them because you thought, "Wait a second, he just counted 1."
Well, maybe you
And
were
so
doing
that
it
threw
wrong
you-
your whole life.
Well, yes, but that threw you off because you're like, "Oh no, I just blew
Speaking of-
5 of them."
Yeah, right. Speaking of doing push-ups wrong,
Yes.
that's probably why your arm hurts.
Yeah.
Ping, ping, ping.
Yeah.
Just
So what was your favorite was
battle ball.
battle ball or
Or floor hockey, probably.
Okay. You only pick
Well,
one.
Jim Van Fossen and his he had every
Wind
day
pants.
he wears wind pants,
Yeah, windbreakers.
and I think they were all different.
Yeah.
You want to talk,
imagine
you want
having
to talk
a
about a
wardrobe full
sweet
of
gym
those?
teacher.
Yes.
yeah,
Jim Van Fossen.
Fossen.
The
What a
man.
name too.
Yeah,
That's a good name,
and he
too.
and he was quite the athlete
Yes.
too.
He
When he
was.
was younger, he'd come down and fly around the gym literally.
I remember
mean, he could
sometimes he would
jump.
talk like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What are you
Would-
Yeah, all right, get down and do some push-ups. He'd say
Was he
stuff like
really?
that. Yeah, which was kind of fun as a kid.
Yeah.
What about yours, Dad?
I'm trying to think. Jim was not. Because we did a lot of physical fitness stuff. Twice a year we did the Marine physical fitness test, which I'm not that great of a raw athlete.
You pass that down.
Yep.
To
and,
most of us.
And I'm more of a sport athlete. But we didn't do a lot of sports. I mean, we played a little bit of flag football. We played a little bit of basketball. We wrestled. We did some handball and racquetball. But we did a lot of battle ball. and calisthenics. We did a lot of that. But I remember some of my least favorite times and favorite times were before and after gym class. You know, taking showers and being in the locker room, just like with sports.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you're a freshman, when you're a freshman, then there's always, when I was in school, there was always initiation.
Mm-hmm.
So there was always some guy or group of guys that were juniors and seniors looking to punch you or do other things. Hazing. They call it hazing now.
Punching was the
least of the yeah, that was the least of it. But then it was fun to be in the locker room talking and laughing and goofing around. So that was part of the whole experience of having an all guys gym class.
Yeah.
And just one thing, I mean, I liked battle ball. I had a pretty good arm. I was a baseball player, and it was fun that sometimes guys would forget. You didn't forget very much, but you get up against the bleachers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And they would throw one of these balls, and guys had good arms, and they would catch you in the head, and it would ricochet your head off of the bleachers.
Yep.
And it was like a double whammy.
Yep.
So you got hit with a ball, hit the bleacher, and then the whiplash.
Wow.
And nobody, as far as I know, nobody ever left gym class hurt. They were probably hurt, but they never were taken off.
Yeah.
They were never taken off on a stretcher. They just like Stan said to you, Stan Andrews said to you, when you had a concussion playing football, they just don't make heads like they used to.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's true or we just didn't report it.
Well, you guys had a lot of cushion back then, though, too, with your hair.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was a good question. Thank you for answering those. Favorite gym class activity.
I hope we didn't make Stan Andrews sound like a horrible person.
No,
we like Stan.
There's a lot of good things about
fond
that.
memories. Very fond memories.
Yeah.
Well, for one thing, even if you went through his tougher years, which I didn't go through the toughest, because he had calmed down quite a bit by the time I got into school. There was a little bit of you felt like you kind of had something. You know, your gym teacher was tough. I know everybody's gym teacher is tough for football, but he was tough. He was tough. But there's a lot of people that have fond memories of that. They'll talk, you know, guys at reunions and stuff, they'll talk about Mr. Andrews with fond memories of kind of being a older brother, dad.
You want to make him proud too. Yeah.
Well, and I think we did leave out that Jim Van Fossen, his given name spelled G-Y-M.
Yeah, Jim.
Yep.
He changed
His full name is Gymnasium.
They need to change it. That's how it was his given name.
Good.
He had to be a gym teacher.
Yeah.
Was born to be a gym teacher.
Well, I think we've done it. I think that's 52.
Wow.
It's been a year.
It's been a run.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Hey, don't forget that we're having our open house on
April 14th
here at our
4:30 to
house.
6 p.m.
Come to have fun.
And we would like to. We're gonna invite some people, invite them. And if you are planning on coming, just so that we can provide food and stuff and make sure we have, just let us know. You can contact RSVP. We'd really appreciate that.
For the FSVP.
Yep. So please let us know. We'd love to have you.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. There you had. Oh, also, we will be announcing the winners of the bracket challenge, March Madness. They've already won because nobody picked the champions right, and nobody picked any of the Final Four teams. 3 people picked Final Four team: Clay C, Cal H, and Michelle V. They all picked UConn, but they didn't pick them to win the championship or anything. So they don't. It's all done.
Well, congrats.
Yeah. So they'll get a T-shirt. One of them.
Nice.
Or 2 people will.
Nice.
So we'll announce those later.
10%.
Yeah. Don't
forget the 10.
Don't forget 10.
We want 10. We want 10. We want 10. We want 10.
We want 10.
We'll see you later. Did you like that video? Check out more from the original Father Son Voiceover podcast right over here. Or subscribe to our channel right here.